Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we got some huge Derek Carr trade news to cover here on the Raiders Report. I'm Mitchell Renz, ready to walk you through everything that you need to know before Super Bowl 57. It is official, and this is coming in from Ian Rapoport. Derek Carr will not be traded. He has informed the team that he does not want to be traded to the Saints, to nobody. He wants to be released, and he wants to be a free agent. I mean, this is monumental news because it sounded like he had a good visit in New Orleans. It sounded like it was going to have a deal go down. When you had guys like Schefter, Rapoport, all tweeting, all reporting that it sounds like a Derek Carr trade is going to happen. We knew that there was a deadline. We knew that the deadline was February 15th. But Derek, he's sticking it to the Raiders, and he's saying, guess what, man? I'm not going to get traded. You're not going to get any draft compensation for me. This is from a few days ago. Notice the date, February 9th. The Saints and the Raiders have already had the framework of a Derek Carr trade in place, a condition for Las Vegas to let the visit happen. But Carr's no-trade clause means he controls whether any trade happens before 4 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday, so stay tuned. I mean, at the end of the day, that no-trade clause is what caused this to happen. The Raiders wanted to trade Carr away. McDaniels, Ziegler, they wanted to get something in return for him. But having that no-trade clause and putting all the power in DC's hands, he decided to throw up a big old middle finger to the Raiders, which some people are going to like, some people aren't going to like. So what do you think here? Go down in the comments section right now. Give me a yes or give me a no. Is Derek Carr trying to screw the Raiders? I mean, overall, yeah, by him saying, no, I'm not going to get traded, it is screwing over the silver and black. I don't really blame him for how things went down. I can also say that, yes, I do blame him because he got two $100 million contracts and he had a chance to at least win some games and show that he was worth the money. At the end of the day, though, they made the contract. Derek signed it. So if he don't want to get traded, he doesn't have to get traded. This is the dude who broke the news, Ian Rapoport, at 3:10 p.m. Central Time. Raiders quarterback Derek Carr has informed the team he won't accept a trade to the Saints or any other team. The team is expected to release him, and he'll be a top free agent. I mean, he will be. The fact that Tom Brady retired, Derek Carr might be the top quarterback on the free agent market depending on what exactly happens with Lamar Jackson. Now, if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I want you to stay up to date on literally anything that's going to happen here because it's not official yet. The Raiders haven't released them. But, I'm not kidding you. It could happen during the Super Bowl. And if it does, I'm going to take our Super Bowl watch party that Jeremy Chuggs and I are doing, which, by the way, is already scheduled. Let's go Birds, FKC. I mean, if he gets straight in the middle of the Super Bowl, I'm sorry, I'm going to go away from the Super Bowl, and we're going to talk about Derek getting released. I don't know if the NFL would allow it to happen on the biggest day of the year for them, but it does sound like it's going to happen, I guess, tomorrow. If I was the Raiders and Derek Carr told me that, I'd say goodbye to him right now, cut his ass, start planning for the future because now you're going to have over $30 million to work with on your cap space. This is what Tom Pelissero had to say on Twitter. The Saints and the Raiders had the framework of a trade in place for Derek Carr, but his contract, which would fully guarantee him $40.4 million as of 4 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday, was an issue. And I mean, this has been reported. There were a lot of people, okay? And I mean a lot of people out there saying that, hey, the trade is going to be an issue because of his contract. And it's the truth. Nobody wants to pay a mediocre quarterback $40.4 million of guaranteed money. I will say this, if you see Raider fans cheering that Derek Carr is not wanting to get traded, those people aren't Raider fans. I'm sorry, if you're a Raider fan and you're happy that Derek is not getting traded, you can go F yourself. I'm going to look you right in the eyes. You can go F yourself. This is what Ian Rapoport had to say. The first big domino of the offseason, Derek Carr wanted to speak with teams, and now he will. This is what's kind of interesting. Las Vegas moves on and is free from his contract. This isn't official. The Raiders haven't officially done it yet in terms of when I am making this video. But, man, there you go. First big domino, and what do we always say? Once the dominoes get rolling, a lot of crazy stuff gets going. What's the big domino tomorrow? Aaron Rodgers, he's going to enter his dark space or whatever the hell he's called, darkness retreat. That starts tomorrow. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Aaron Rodgers is going to be his darkness retreat. We'll see what happens after that. Since the Raiders now are obviously moving on from Derek Carr, I'm hoping that they land Aaron Rodgers. This is the guy that I want. This is the guy that I believe Devontae Adams wants. Darren Waller has come out and said, I would like to have Rodgers. Max Crosby has supported the idea. The last time you saw Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams play together, it was back-to-back NFL MVPs. What does scare me, though, is what if the Raiders Raider? I mean, there's reports out there that apparently the Raiders could be more interested in Jimmy Garoppolo than Aaron Rodgers. Also, it's just been reported that there are teams interested in Jimmy G. The Raiders are one of those teams. I have my fingers crossed, and I hope that Dave Ziegler is trying to play a little bit of chess instead of playing checkers and saying, oh, yeah, we want Jimmy Garoppolo. That way the Packers hear that and are like, well, shit, maybe they don't want Aaron. I mean, the Jets, they checked in on Green Bay. They checked in with Aaron Rodgers today. I really hope that the Raiders have a plan here because I liked the contract that they gave Derek. I thought that he was going to waive the no-trade clause, and I'm really hoping that now that you don't have that extra draft capital that you were hoping to get from D.C., now you're still able to go out and get somebody like Aaron Rodgers. So what do you think here? Do you think that the Raiders still trade for Rodgers, type T for trade, type P for pass? I'm still going to type my T for trade because Vegas always knows something. Now, have the odds come down? Yes, I made a video that was minus 500 of Rodgers going to the Raiders. Now, it's minus 350 for the Raiders and plus 250 for the Green Bay Packers. And those are still really, really big difference makers in terms of odds. I am hoping, though, that the Raiders have a plan B because they're going to need one. So, Derek Carr, again, it's official. He will not, I'm going to repeat, will not get traded. He is demanding the Las Vegas Raiders to release him of his contract, and he's going to be hitting the open market as a free agent. If you don't know, NFL free agency starts March 15th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That is the official new league year. That's officially when DC can start talking to teams. Then he can start figuring out where exactly he wants to go. If you want to interact with me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, y'all know where to find me, Raidersport.locals.com. Before I go, I do want to give you some Derek Carr destinations because the trade destinations I do think were at least a little bit different than the free agency ones. I mean, we got to be able to face the facts. There are going to be teams out there interested in Derek Carr. I still have the New Orleans Saints sitting there at number one. If the Jets don't get a guy like Rodgers and maybe they can't get a guy like Jimmy G, you turn your attention to D.C. The Commanders are going to be looking. The Panthers at pick number 9, they're going to be looking. And it sounds like the Tennessee Titans, they're going to be moving on from Ryan Tannehill. If I was Derek, going to Tennessee and that division with that running game could be very, very interesting. Stay tuned, though. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tune into our Super Bowl 57 watch party with Jeremy Jugs and I. But again, Derek Carr will not be traded.